What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are coming off of a clean sweep from yesterday's free pick. So if you guys tuned in to our college football video from yesterday, then you know we went 5-0 with one DMP. Looking at our plays from yesterday, we had Iowa money line. That cashed us out. We had a Tulsa teaser, which I showed you guys an exact slip that I put almost $600 on. That cashed us out. Had Gronowski passing rush yards cashes. Dominic Richardson cashed his rushing yards. Then we had Ethan Kaliak-Manis cash his passing yards for us as well. We did have Caleb Hicks. He ended up not playing. Everything was a reboot, and it ended up cashing us out. But anyways, guys, we got a massive college football slate for this Saturday. Let's talk about some money lines, some teasers, and let's talk about 4 player props that I really like, and I'll show you guys here in just a second. All right, everybody, so before we jump into our free picks for today, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. First of all, I have to pick a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. So if you're new to the channel, if this video gets 250 likes, I pick a random comment in every single video to win a free month of our VIP, which is worth $25 if you guys do want to get in. But anyways, I'll drop a comment, leave a like, and I'll pick a random comment in this video to win a free month. Let's go ahead and select our winner from yesterday. Winner is for Otho Zachary, who said, "My boy, you acing all gamblers, fantasy score, you one of the ones." Well, I appreciate you, Zachary. Send me a message on Discord, my man. I'll get you added for that free month of VIP. And I appreciate the love and support from everybody. Obviously, 5-0 sweep yesterday. I gave you guys like 3 free slips. This is one of them. Dominic Richardson, Mark Gronowski, that ended up cashing. I did give you another prize pick slip that was a reboot, but it should have been a cash. It had Kaliak-Manis on it, passing yards, that cash. I gave you a parlay play slip, which was the same slip, but I played Gronowski rushing yards alone, that cash. So I gave you 2 slips that cashed, 1 DMP or 1 reboot slip on prize picks and parlay play. And then I gave you guys this teaser for free as well as Iowa money line. So if you bet Iowa money line, you cash for -125. If you bet on this one, Tulsa +18 and the under 62, which I showed you guys on the video, I won $1,100 on this play. So I bet 600. I think it was to win 525. I think is what the exact number was. I'll have to go check the exact slip. But anyways, did cash this out and had a really good day in terms of free picks yesterday. So if you guys do want to get all of our plays, I will have a lot of teasers today. I will have a lot of other player props, obviously, in our VIP. Link to that is down in the description. Just click our WAP link. There's a $10 link and a $25 link if you guys do want to join. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. The Discord is free to join. And if you guys do need help signing up, send me a message on Discord, and I will get you guys added in there. You can get a free month signing up for any partnered app. Links to those are down in the description. Parlay Play, Chalkboard, Sleeper, Underdog, Better, Novig, and Dabble. Any of those 7 apps get you a free month of our VIP. They do stack. You can get up to 7 full months for free. But that being said, guys, let's jump into some of these plays. So I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm only talking about 2. We got a massive college football slate. This video is a little bit later. I didn't get to record this last night like I wanted to. Had some family things going on. So I am going to make this video a little bit shorter in terms of which games I talk about. So right now, SMU versus TCU is going to be the first game I talk about. And then we're going to talk about Arkansas versus Memphis. And I got 2 teasers I'm going to give you guys for free. I'm going to give you guys free slips. And then I'm also going to give you guys our player props as usual. So let's talk about SMU versus TCU. So this game, -220 favorites for TCU. TCU playing at home. They are -6.5 spread favorites. And then look at the total in this game. The total in this game is sitting at 63.5. Looking at the money, 67% of the money is on TCU. 74% of the money is on them to cover the spread. And then you got 50-50 split on the over 63.5, which obviously very, very high total. What we're going to look at is how these teams have played so far this season. If you look at this season right now, the Horned Frogs are 2-0, coming off a big win versus AC, and then a 48-14 win versus UNC. So obviously they blew out North Carolina at home, which was huge for TCU, made them look insanely strong, looked like one of the best offenses in the nation, seriously. They looked incredible that game. If you look at SMU's 2-1 this season. Really, really tough loss to Baylor. That game was sweaty. Obviously, an overtime game, 48-45. It was almost a 100-point total game on that one. That one could have went either way. Giving SMU that loss is tough, but they did end up losing to Baylor, and that's the only loss they have. The other 2 games, pretty much 2 easy victories for SMU. This is going to be a tough match, man. This game, obviously, in my opinion, is going to be a shootout. I'm going to pull up some stats right here that we can see from SMU and TCU And I'm trying a different website just to show stats because ESPN stats look a little funky sometimes, so bear with me on this because I'm not used to this site and it's not something that I use all the time. So I'm trying to break things down in my head a little bit too. So anyways, right here we can look at the SMU offense going versus the TCU defense, and there's a green arrow pointing to which side has the advantage in this. So you'll see this green arrow right now, pretty much all the way down the list is on the SMU side. So SMU's offense far superior to TCU's defense in pretty much every single category except for rushing yards, yards per rush, and then passing attempts. So most teams don't have very many passing attempts versus TCU, it seems, 25 per game, and then SMU has the 75th ranked, given 29 pass attempts per game. Anyways, that's obviously irrelevant in this game to me personally. Not something I would even consider looking at how many pass attempts SMU has versus TCU. That would only work if I'm looking at player props and things like that. Anyways, for the game itself, SMU's offense, 435 total yards per game. TCU giving up 337 yards per game. If you look at the national average, it's 366 yards per game. So TCU's defense a little bit better than average, not much. SMU offense far superior on average. Now, if you're looking at this, you're going to be like, dang, man, SMU's going to win. It's not the case. You have to look at TCU's offense versus the SMU defense. And then you find out that both of these teams have far superior offenses to their opponents' defenses. So everything is pointing to shootout, which is why this total is sitting at 63.5. So you can look at TCU's offense, 515 yards per game. SMU's defense, they give up 426 yards per game. So they give up way more than average yards per game. And then if you look at TCU, the 19th ranked offense in the league. So 7.8 yards per play, which is almost a top 10 offense. And then SMU giving up 5.4 yards per play on average. So that's against some pretty weak teams, except for Baylor. So you got to understand, if SMU's giving up 426 yards of total offense to teams other than Baylor that are that weak, I mean, you got to think about what TCU can do when they've looked as strong as they've looked. So me personally, I lean towards the over on this. It was down to like 60 or something like that, like yesterday. So it's definitely bumped up a lot. Taking the 63.5 is tough. That's why I'm going to show you guys the teaser that I locked in. The teaser should be up on the screen right now. This is what I played. I played TCU -7, and then I played the over 63.5. And what I did is I did a 6.5 point teaser. So this is -115 odds. TCU has to win by 0.5, which you can see on the right-hand side. If they win, all they have to do is win the game. So I'm betting on TCU to win at home. And then the over on this jumps down to a 57. So this game has to score at least 58 points for us to cash this slip. And I do think it's going to be that way. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I can see both teams scoring 30-plus points. Honestly, I don't think TCU is going to stop SMU very many times. And I don't think SMU is going to stop TCU at all. They might get a stop in here somewhere. But I think this is going to be one of those very fast-paced teams. I think both quarterbacks on both sides of the ball are going to be really good targets for player props if you want to do that. But I just want to throw that out there, guys. This is my first teaser. I'm taking TCU to win the game, but it is a tough matchup, and I could see SMU coming out and taking a win. I'm not going to lie. This isn't like some guaranteed dub for TCU. SMU's a strong team. They looked strong last year. They lost a lot of players, but they're still a pretty strong team this year as well. But to me personally, TCU is the better team, and that's who I'm going to be locking in. So looking at our second game of the day, taking a look at the Razorbacks taking on the Memphis Tigers, playing in Memphis. Memphis is plus 245 underdogs. The spread on this game is sitting at 8.5. It was 6.5 like 45 minutes ago, so this has completely changed. Then the over on this game is sitting at 60.5. Looking at the public betting on this, 71% of the money is on Arkansas to win. 75% of the money is on Memphis to cover an 8.5-point spread. Then you got 88% of the money on the over this game at 60.5, which is obviously a very high-scoring game. Let's take a look at why this game is a high score, or total is supposed to be this way. So Arkansas so far this season, they are 2-1. Ole Miss just dropped 41 on them. They dropped 35 on Ole Miss. Very explosive offense. They can definitely score some points, but they're obviously going to give up a lot of points as well. They just had 56 the game before that, scored 52 the game before that. Like I said, very explosive offense. Looking at Memphis' side of things, Troy, 28-7 win versus Troy. They put up 28 points. Chattanooga, I mean, weak teams they're beating, but they're winning in dominant fashion. 45-10, 38-16, 28-7. Like Memphis has looked strong offensively. Now, do I think the Memphis defense can stop this Arkansas offense? No, I don't. Do I think the Arkansas defense can stop this Memphis offense? Probably not. It's going to be another high-scoring game, in my opinion. If things go the way that I'm planning, this will go over, especially if we run a teaser. So I'm going to pull up the same thing using this other spread. It's called Covers, if you guys are wondering. I'm trying this out for the video. I don't know if I like it or not. We'll see. I'll watch it back and decide if I like being able to see the stats right here. But anyways, Taking a look at this Arkansas offense versus this Memphis defense. Once again, you can see the green arrows all the way on the side for Arkansas. It does not look like Memphis is going to stop this Arkansas defense or Arkansas offense. So you can look at Memphis' defense. They're ranked 20th in the league against Chattanooga. Like very, very weak teams, man, offensively. They give up 244 yards per game. Their defense looks strong if you look at it on paper, but if you look at the teams they're playing, you got to take it with a grain of salt. If you look at Arkansas's offense, 570 yards per game offensively, ranked 6th in the nation. This is a team that is like I said, very explosive and can put up some big numbers. If we look at the other side of things, Memphis' offense, 421 yards per game. And once again, this is weak teams they're playing against, but still, man, you have to give them credit where credit's due. They're putting up big numbers. Everything's leaning towards them over this Arkansas defense. Arkansas gives up 331 yards per game, 67th ranked defense. They're not a team that's been strong defensively by any means. So I do think that Memphis is going to be able to move the ball quite easily on Arkansas. And take easily with a grain of salt. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be easy just to run up and down the field. But I do think that they're going to be able to move the ball consistently versus this Arkansas defense. Me personally, think it's going to be a shootout. Think Arkansas wins this game. And I have a total that I'm going to pop up on the screen. So you guys can see this is my teaser bet for this play. I'm running teasers on these. I like teasers for football. It's my favorite thing to bet on in football, even over player props, money lines, whatever. I like the teasers. This is what I have. I have Arkansas minus 7.5, which you can see is bumped to 8.5. Maybe your book allows 7.5 still. Now I took over 61. I bought it by 7 points. So now Arkansas just has to win the game. It's minus 0.5. If Arkansas wins, we cash. And then the over on this is down to 54. So I think this is the over on that should cash pretty easily, maybe. I hope so. If these teams can't get their offenses going, that would be devastating. But regardless, I got Arkansas winning and the over 54 total. If you guys want to run this, it's minus 125 odds. You can see I put 150 to win, 120. I am playing less on these slips just because I have so many games to bet on. And in VIP, there's going to be a lot of teasers today. I'm just going to throw that out there. We got some really, really good games I want to bet on. Wolverines versus the Nebraska. I want to take that one. I mean, there's a lot of them, guys. Oregon State, I'll probably end up putting some, well, that's a minus 4,900. I probably won't touch that one. You got UAB versus the Vols. Probably won't touch that one. Let's see. I know Miami plays Florida today. Definitely going to have some money on that one. Definitely going to have some on Clemson versus Syracuse. I got some plays I like from that game. There's a lot going on today, guys. I'm sure I can find 10 other games I want to make a teaser for. But anyways, if you want to get all those, you know where to go. Join our Discord. Links down in the description. That being said, guys, let's jump into some player props. All right, so jumping into the player props. So the first thing I want to talk about is going to be from the SMU-TCU game. I actually have 2 props from that game I really like. I'm going to give you an option on the first prop, and you can play whichever one you like. If you want to play both, you can. So technically, I'm giving you 5 props total. But let's talk about this one. So Josh Hoover is the first play that I want to take. It's the TCU quarterback playing at home versus SMU. We've talked about this game. I think this is going to be an insanely high total. That being said, I like his fantasy score. So let's talk about Josh Hoover's fantasy score. The line's sitting at 22.5 on Prizepicks. You can come over here, you can click fantasy score, scroll down here, we'll find Josh Hoover right here, 22.5. This is what we're looking at. Very, very high fantasy score. He has to have an amazing game to cash this. Let's talk about how fantasy score is scored. So, per touchdown, a passing touchdown gives you 4 fantasy points. A rushing touchdown gives you 6. You get 1 point per 10 rushing yards, and then you get 1 point per 25 passing yards. So every 100 passing yards is going to be 4 points. If he throws for 300, which his line is set at, you can see his passing yards right now, it's set at 315. If he cashes passing yards, that's going to give you already pretty much 13 fantasy score. 2 passing touchdowns gives you another 8, which gives you 28. If he gets any rushing yards, he cashes. If he throws for 3 passing touchdowns, he cashes. I think he throws for 3 or 4 passing TDs. That's all I'm saying. I think he throws for at least 250, gives us 3 to 4 passing TDs, and I mean, he may get some scrambling in there as well. We'll see what happens. He could get a rushing touchdown. Last year, he had a rushing touchdown versus SMU. So we got a bunch of opportunities here to cash fantasy. With the score being this high, a 60-something point total, which I think cashes, it's hard for me to not take the fantasy score for the team that I think is going to win in an air raid offense. So I like Josh Hoover in this matchup. I think he throws for 250 to 300, and I think he gives us 3 to 4 passing touchdowns, which should cash our line pretty good. So Josh Hoover is the first pick that I have over fantasy score. If you want to play something a little more safe, I like his passing touchdowns at 1.5. This one will be a goblin on Prizepicks, so we can come over here to pass TDs. Realistically, let's talk about this, guys. If Josh Hoover cashes fantasy, he cashes passing TDs. Realistically, this is one of those, like, I know Prizepicks lets you play the same player twice. This gives us very, very strong correlation. Love these two together. And this gives us a 1.8x by itself. Obviously, we need players from another team. But I do like this if you want to play them together, and that's probably what I end up doing. You don't have to play them together. If you wanted to take off the fantasy score altogether, you can have passing touchdowns. The payout's not going to be super high on passing TDs. I just want to throw that out there that the correlation here is very strong. Josh Hoover on parlay play. We can see they have passing TDs at a 1.2x. And then they have his fantasy score at 22.5 as well, which we'll look at here in just a minute. But anyways, I'll lock this in live so you can see. I'm going to lock it in on Prizepicks as well. But Josh Hoover is going to be the first pick. I think he cashes this out. Let me click that passing TDs for you guys. Over 1.5. Last season, he cashed it 9 of 13 games, 69% hit rate, averages 2 per game. This is, like I said, high-scoring game against a team that gives up a lot of passing TDs. He had 3 his last game and a rushing TD last year. Like, the dude's a beast. He's going to get that for us, in my opinion. But anyways, jumping to the other side of the ball, SMU's quarterback, I like Kevin Jennings. I think Kevin Jennings has a great game here tonight. Like I said, I think it's a shootout. That being said, Kevin Jennings at 225 passing yards is very low, and I'm going to lock it in. His passing yards are sitting at 250. He's also obviously a dual threat quarterback. He does run the ball as well. You can see here they do pass the ball 47% of the time, run the ball 53% of the time. If you look at rushing yards, Kevin Jennings gets 24 rush attempts so far this season, which is 21% of the rush share. So they're definitely going to be running the ball. I think that they play from behind. I think TCU keeps the lead in this game in 250s. I think he catches 250 passing yards. He's averaging 280 on the season so far. Versus Baylor, he had 295. If you buy this down to 224.5 on Prizepicks, I like that line. We can click passing yards here. Kevin Jennings, 224. You can get him down to 199. We'll see what 199 pays. This will put us a 2.1x. At 224 gives us a 2.1x. So there's no point in even play it. It just doesn't make sense to me, man. If somebody can, like, math just doesn't math for me here. Why is it the same payout for 199 as it is for... Okay, so there's no point in playing 225 if you play this. There's no point. You might as well just take the double up with these 3. If you take this off, it's a 2x. I don't get it. Anyways, all right, you guys can do what you want with this data. I was going to play Jennings up to 225. I think 225 is a good number. I think he cashes that. 200, obviously, going to be a better number. You're getting a 25-point discount or 25-yard discount. Do what you want with that. But for me, on Prizepicks, I'll play around with the slip. Not going to make it pop up yet because I don't know exactly what I'm going to lock in, and I need to figure that out before I just post a random slip on the screen. So, obviously, I'm going to tell you guys what I'm playing when I give these free picks. But 199.5, here's the difference in payout. So, 1.16x, which gives us a 2.06 on parlay play. If you buy it up to 224, it gives us a 2.4. So, the payout is a lot better on parlay play if you decide to play just these two. That being said, let's check the difference here. Yeah, it's a double. This slip is a double up on Prizepicks, and it's a 2.39x on parlay play. No point in even playing it on Prizepicks. And you can see this is just a breakdown of the fantasy score. Passing yards is 0.04, so 25 is 1. Pass TDs and interceptions, obviously -1. Interceptions could kill him if he throws a couple of fumbles or -2. So obviously turnovers can kill his fantasy. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, I ain't gonna say it couldn't be. It could definitely be the deciding factor on this chalking, but I think he cashes this. So 250 to win 600. I'm going to lock this in. If you guys do want to tell it, there it is. Track picks. You guys can see Jennings and Hoover, 22.5, 225 if you want to play that. I'll probably play the 199.5 on Prizepicks just because the payout is the exact same. So there's no point in not. So that being said, do what you want with that if you play on Prizepicks. But Parlay Play will give you a free $5 if you sign up using code FANTASYACES, and you get a free month of VIP if you guys want to do that. That being said, I'm going to give you guys another free slip right here on Prizepicks. Let me get this to pop up, and you can see our next 2 plays. So, is it not going to load? All right, there we go. So, we got Morton, and then we got Arch Manning. Both over passing yards, $100 to win 300. This is 2 regular lines that I'm going to be taking. Utah taking Texas Tech. Texas Tech, Morton. I think his name's like Baron Morton. I don't know exactly how to say your first name, but I'm going to just call him Morton. 261.5 passing yards is the first play that I like on this slip. So, Morton. TTU quarterback, over passing yards, 260.5. We got him at 261.5. Same thing for the most part. If he chalks us by 1, I'll come back in tomorrow's video and say, never mind, it's not the same thing. But anyways, he's averaging 307 passing yards per game. Just had 464 versus Oregon State, 258 versus Kent. 200 the game before that, first opening game of the season. Going against a team that has a pretty strong passing defense. I'm not going to lie. They have the 20th ranked passing defense in the league, giving up 134 passing yards per game. I was going to pull up who they played. We're not going to do that right now. I'm going to try to get this video out as soon as possible because it's already 9:30 Eastern time and the game's starting in like 2 hours. But 51% pass rate for this offense, 49% run rate. They obviously pass the ball and run the ball pretty much the same amount of times. I think Morton has a good game. This is just kind of a gut play. Last season, he cashed this line 7 of 12. He averaged 278 passing yards per game. This is a team that I think is going to struggle a little bit maybe. Well, let me check the spread on this game and give you guys the exact numbers on this. I'll just pull it up on my phone to make this easier, and we'll talk about it. But we got Texas Tech taking on Utah. Spread's -3.5. Utah is favored right now. They're both teams are 3-0. This is a ranked game, obviously. Utah's ranked 16th. Texas Tech's ranked 17th. Team that I think could be playing from behind, playing in Utah, so they obviously have the disadvantage there on the road. But I think it's going to be a good game, man. I like Morton here. I think he throws for 260. I think this is going to be a pass-heavy offense today, and I like this play. So I'm going to lock him in. Obviously, 62-14 here in terms of scores, and then they won 67-7. Last game was 45-14. So you understand when the passing rate is 51%, but they've been beating teams by 50 points, it's hard to, you're not going to pass the ball in those situations. So you might as well just run the ball, milk the clock, get your team out of there with no injuries, and that's pretty much what's going on here. So I think their pass rate is going to be a lot higher than 51% today, because I don't think this is going to be a 30 to 50 point victory. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good one to target in terms of teasers. I will have a teaser for this game as well, but I like Baron Morton to give us 260.5 if you guys want to lock it in, which I already have, and it's been posted to the Discord early. Who did I pair him with? You guys already saw Arch Manning. I think this is a get-back game for Arch Manning. Obviously, Texas taking on Sam Houston. Sam Houston playing at home. Arch Manning should be able to throw all over Sam Houston. It's the get-back game. We can take a look at Arch Manning this season. Arch Manning has not been someone that I think has looked good at all this season. He has struggled a lot. So this season so far, he's cashed this line 1 of his last 3. 114 yards versus UTEP. It's hard to trust a quarterback that only throws for 113 or 114 versus UTEP. Still, those 8th ranked team, they're playing at home. I don't know why I said in Sam Houston, but they are playing at home. That's my bad on that one. But anyway, Sam Houston's passing yards defense, they give up 315 passing yards per game, one of the worst passing defenses in the league. Obviously, Texas so far has been passing the ball 42% of the time, running the ball 58% of the time. But think about how Arch Manning's played, and they haven't had any hard games other than Ohio State, who beat them in game 1, which was a close game, but obviously Archie had a lot of struggles in that game. Anyways, a game I think Arch Manning has a good game here. Anyways, I think he comes back here as a get back game for him, and I think he throws for 260. If you don't like it, obviously fade the plays. I don't know why I'm pulling it up on Prizepicks when I have to slip here, but if you don't want to play it, you don't have to. If you guys think I'm faking this slip, I'll go ahead and lock it in live on here as well, because I hate when people say fake slips or something like that. So Manning, 258, Barron, 259. I'm going to lock this in right here. This is a 3.9x or 19x, actually better value on parlay play. I probably shouldn't even play this on Prizepicks, to be honest with you. Lock it in, track picks, we'll refresh so you guys know it's all legit. Here we go, Jennings, Hoover, slip, and then we got Morton, Manning, slip right here, 250 to win 800. So it's locked in. Hopefully it cashes out, guys. That's what I've got today for the free picks. So those are 5 free picks if you include the Josh Hoover passing TDs as well, and then I gave you guys 2 teasers. So lock them in if you like them, fade them if you don't. I hope you guys have an awesome day. I really do. Hope you cash everything. We'd love to have you in the Discord. Even if you're not in the paid area of our Discord, join the free area, guys. It's free to join. Links down in the description. We'd love to have you guys in there, part of the community. If you have any questions about anything, I try my best to answer. If you need help with a game or something, I'll try my best to answer. Obviously, I'm not in Discord 24/7. If the games are on, I'll probably be kind of scrolling in there, especially if we're having a good day or something like that. But anything that you guys need, just let me know. Hope you guys have an awesome one, and I'll see y'all in the next one.